You have got to be kidding me. What an amazing game today for the LA Dodgers. You have to be proud as a Dodger fan after this series against the Arizona D-backs. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the almost 13% of you that have subscribed, but 86% of you that are watching these videos have not yet subscribed to the channel. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any big Dodgers news. Let's get right into it. Of course, the Dodgers defeated the D-backs today. Just a huge win, 11-6 to win 3 out of 4. Just a historic win to say the least. You might say, why is it historic? Well, because they were playing against the National League winning team last year. They won the pennant last year, the Arizona D-backs. They were the 2023 pennant winners of the National League. Of course, team that went to the World Series, and the Dodgers, basically dominated them over 3 games, dominated them today. They scored 32 runs in 3 games. Imagine that, 32 runs in the series. In 4 games, I should say, 32 runs in 4 games. Just a huge win. It almost feels like the Dodgers swept the D-backs, but they did not, of course. They of course lost yesterday, pretty bad. But today they showed that they were the better team. They basically showed that they are, favored to win, the World Series, favored to, win this National League West. I think that's what everybody around the league has come to that consensus after today's win. And, today was one of those games that everybody in the team contributed, right? Everybody, if you look at the final stat line here for all the hitters on this team, just everybody, played a part. Everybody was contributing. Almost everybody on the team, had at least a hit. I believe only, Kike Hernandez was the only player, along with, Kike Hernandez was the only player, of course, played the entire game and did not get a base hit. But everybody else, Chris Taylor got a couple hits. Miguel Rojas, Tommy Edman had a base hit. And then, of course, the big day for Teoscar Hernández, 5 hits today. You almost even had an opportunity to potentially hit for the cycle. Today, of course, had a home run. Had a double, a single, and a triple. He was basically only missing a home run today, but he was very close to hit for the cycle. Teoscar Hernández after today's win, and just a overall one of those games that you definitely are really pumped up just to watch. Today's game was really fun to watch, to say the least. After yesterday's disastrous game, today was a game that I was excited to watch, that I was definitely tuned in until the end. Even at the end, we kind of gave up some runs there toward the end of this ball game. Bullpen kind of let up, but it didn't matter because the Dodgers had a huge cushion, and that's what's important. You got to have those insurance runs to give your bullpen some confidence they can get through it, even if they run into trouble. Now, what's being lost in all this, somebody I want to commend in this game, is Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty, starting pitcher for the LA Dodgers, is a player I've criticized here on this show for making big mistakes. Well, today he had the best game he could have possibly had for the Dodgers. What a game today. 7 strikeouts, had only 3 walks, only gave up 1 run in 5 2/3 work, 5 hits. He ran into some trouble, ran into some adversity. But like we've talked about here on the show, Jack Flaherty has, really shown that he could pitch through the tough situations. That's exactly what, Jack Flaherty did. There was, a couple instances, I believe a couple innings where the D-backs had some runners in scoring position. And in one of those innings, of course, he left, I believe, at first and second. He left a couple runners, with the first and second, but it was already 2 outs. So Vesia just had to get that last out. So that was an important moment as well in this game. Vesia getting that last out in a tough situation where Flaherty basically walked a couple batters with a couple outs in that inning. But prior to that, Flaherty was able to get through. He was able to weave through this entire lineup, this D-backs lineup, which has been, one of the best in the National League, one of the best in Major League Baseball. And Flaherty was all about it today. Even Oral Hershiser on the broadcast was talking about today how his fastball was looking really good, right? His fastball had a lot of movement. That's something that we didn't see in his previous starts, and we didn't really get a chance to to really see. He kind of was relying a lot on his off-speed pitches in the other games again, in his other starts. But today he was really going to that fastball, which is showing that Flaherty has a lot more confidence now, right? He's getting confidence that he's not gonna put the pitch and put the ball in a bad position, right? That's kind of where unfortunately Flaherty has made mistakes, giving up home runs. Majority of his runs given up this year have been through the home run ball. Just fastballs in bad places. But today, the fastball had a lot of movement. It was really throwing the D-backs hitters off, and I think that was important to watch, right? Flaherty had a lot of control in this game. Only walking 3 batters in this start. He was able to go deep in this game, which is important. The Dodgers, bullpen was so taxed going into this ball game that they needed their starting pitcher to go deep, and that's exactly what Jack Flaherty did. So you have to commend Jack Flaherty. That's exactly the kind of big-time performance the Dodgers needed today in a game that the Dodgers have now clinched the season series against the D-backs. You got to remember the Dodgers and D-backs were tied going into this game in terms of the season series. And now the Dodgers have won that season series. So if the Dodgers and D-backs, for whatever reason, end up tied at the end of the season, the Dodgers are going to have the upper hand and basically win the division. This is huge. It's a huge win. Big series, 3 out of 4. Because now they're, of course, in the driver's seat, 6 games ahead on the D-backs, and maybe potentially, right now, got the Padres game here on another screen, and we're hoping the Tigers can come back around. The Padres are leading 1-0, but if the Tigers can come back and beat the Padres, well, the Dodgers would have a 6-game lead on San Diego as well. But of course, going into today, it was a 5-game lead. So hopefully we get some help there from the Motor City, and the Dodgers can have even a deeper lead, have a bigger lead on San Diego, which is always a good thing because San Diego could get hot, just like the D-backs were prior to the series. Don't think they're hot anymore. Also, Freddie Freeman, of course, was a clutch hitter today, hitting a couple huge home runs. Let's go back to the stats here. Freddie Freeman, a couple home runs, ended up having 5 RBIs. Just a huge day. The other RBI was a sacrifice fly. That's the kind of performance that Freddie Freeman is all about. Freddie Freeman has his injury right now. He has a hairline fracture, and it's kind of extraordinary what he's able to do despite being injured, right? I think that's something that everybody's got to look, has to commend Freddie Freeman to what he's doing despite being injured. Just a great guy, and everything, of course, he's dealt with in his personal life this year. It's just great to see what Freddie Freeman has done with the Dodgers. And yeah, this weekend, he's, of course, historically the best hitter in Chase Field history. And once again, proved it again, like Oral and Joe were saying, Freddie loves Arizona. No, not the team, but I'm saying he loves hitting at this park. And that's, it's just crazy, man. Just 2 home runs today, deep home runs. And yeah, 5 RBIs. He was a big hero. And of course, Shohei Ohtani, just wow. I mean, Shohei Ohtani picking up a couple stolen bases in the same inning. Just extraordinary. Of course, we're keeping a count of that stolen base count because we're trying to see if he can reach that 50-50 mark. And Ohtani getting a couple getting 3 couple stolen bases in one inning, and then of course getting another one earlier. So he ended up getting 3 stolen bases in this game. Kind of forgot about the other one earlier, but anyway, 3 stolen bases in one game. I mean, the guy has like a 90% chance of getting, getting a save call when he steals a base. I mean, it's more than 90%. I mean, when he's taken off, it's really hard to get him. And yeah, 3 stolen bases for Shohei Ohtani today. Wow. I mean, it's just a matter of time before the guy reaches 50-50 and become the first player. Like Oral said on the broadcast today, it's just going to be about health. If Ohtani can stay healthy, there's no way that he's not going to reach 50-50. It's getting to that, especially after today picking up 3 stolen bases in one game. Wow, what a win. We are pumped up as Dodger fans. Now we got the Angels. Got to keep, of course, building up on the division, lead because, still some games left, and the Dodgers have, I believe, the toughest schedule. If you look at the D-backs, Padres, and Dodgers have the toughest schedule out of the 3 to close out. So got to keep tagging on those wins, because there's going to be, of course, some situations, coming up later in the season where the Dodgers might not be so hot. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Dodger content.